everyone, is Clint with Stitzer Properties, and this week's agent on fire is Mr. Ryan Smith. Gosh, I met Ryan February of 2019, and it was such an interesting adventure because, like many agents who are just starting out, he was trying everything. He had done a deal in Modesto. He had done a deal in Truckee. He was based out of South Lake, right, Ryan?
Yep.
And gosh, I mean, the amount of different things that Ryan was trying, Ryan was all in, but he was all in on so many different directions. He was sending mailers, he was buying Facebook ads, he was watching videos till 3 a.m. on YouTube. He was calling his colleagues in Monterey saying, hey, what's working? What do I do? How do I get going in this thing? And it was just such an honor and a great opportunity to invite Ryan to join our company and to just say, here's really what works for us. Here's a game plan. And the most fun thing was to watch Ryan choose what fit his personality best, to dive in and go for it. Now, let's look at the timeline though here really quickly, you guys. I met him in February. He just reminded me that he joined and there was like a week of normalcy and then COVID hit, boom. So here he is, he's 6 months in. He's, what, 2 or 3 deals, right, Ryan, at that point, your first 6 months?
If that, yeah.
2 or 3. I mean, just diving into the business of real estate, learning all the techniques, all sorts of different things. Shows up within a week, COVID hits. And if you all remember, for that month and a half, nothing happened. I mean, deals were falling apart. It was scary. And so let's take that month and a half of like nothing. Mid-April to the end of the year, Ryan just achieved 8 million, was it?
Yeah, 8 million in sales.
8 million in sales. So we're really gonna call it a 7.5 month period. Yeah. Ryan achieved $8 million in sales, and it's just something that we're so proud of. So I'm gonna ask Ryan to tell us a little bit about what was meaningful for you and what you see moving forward and what the most important things are for you.
Yeah, thank you, Clint. The main thing is, as a new agent, there's so many questions you ask yourself, and stepping away from a job or that security, it's all on you. And I took it really personally. It was something that I always wanted to have a direction for. I wanted to have an idea of what I was doing. And in real estate, you never know if what you do is always going to lead you to something. So I was trying a ton of things. And when I met Clint, there was something about sort of not only the structure, but there's a mindset at Stitzer Properties that I really aligned with. The words potential come to mind. There's a team orientation. It was still a small group. So it was something I was really interested in, and getting on board at first at a very weird time where I'm trying to do everything that I'm told I should do. And then COVID hits and everything kind of shuts down. It could have been discouraging, but I didn't let it. I just kept on. You keep making your calls, you keep in touch with people, providing value. And a lot of that value came from things like our trainings and the conversations I would have with people I'd meet, just the roundtable talks we would have here at the brokerage. And ultimately, it started building this momentum where people knew who I was, they knew what I was doing. And after a while, by summer, I had a couple deals going on. I would celebrate those wins, and all of a sudden, more people just started calling, wondering what's going on, what's happening, what I know. And that translated into a really good year. I'd written some goals down in the beginning when I first met with Clint, and I exceeded almost all of them. And that just had to do with consistency, showing up every day, taking my accountability at the end of the week to kind of gauge where I was at and figure out, did I need to do more, do less? What was the goal here? And now when I first came to Stitzer Properties, I had nothing. As an agent with a couple of deals under your belt in 6 months, that doesn't always mean a lot of money. There was a lot of expenses I was spending on leads, on trying different things, on seminars, on classes, on mailers, a lot of out-of-pocket stuff that as a new agent, you're told that's what you're supposed to do. Now going into this year, having had the success that I had, it's a totally different mindset. I'm not coming from a place of need or scarcity or striving. This year, it's just an aim to build confidence. It's an aim to show myself I can do it again. It's an aim to do even more, to provide even more value. And I think just to become a better practitioner in real estate and be more knowledgeable, be able to serve a wider range of people. I personally like to niche down and work with anything from residential all the way to investment. And that takes a lot of knowledge. It takes a lot of practice to stay up on what's going on in the market. And now I'm able to do so not from a place of I have to, but from a place of I want to. And that's been probably
Yeah.
one of the biggest shifts.
That's amazing. A lot of thoughts hit my mind as you were saying all those things. I mean, we were talking earlier, and I think one of the most exciting things for me, I remember like in early April, like, I don't know, maybe it was late March, early April, like COVID was in full swing. The stock market was crashing, deals were falling apart. And I remember like having a cash flow plan meeting with you, right? Like, cause again, you just told the story of all the upfront expenses you took to get going. You left a really great job at Apple, took a big risk. And here we were like, all right, how can we cash plan to make sure that, that Ryan's really fighting another day here in 3 to 6 months. And I'm not trying to put your personal business out there, but
Hey,
that was a conversation we had, right?
yeah, totally.
And then here we are in January, and we're having your 2021 conversation, and we're talking about surpluses. And you had this amazing realization. The way that you said it was like, I am so excited to enter client relationships to be able to truly be magnetic and offer value and allow it to come to me rather than feel like I need to chase it or strive for it or really like I just have to have the sale.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for you to have your practice like that moving forward.
Yeah. There's a very different conversation that happens when it's not, oh, I have to turn this into something, but it's how can I help from a place of calm, from a place of what are your dreams? What are your goals? Here's what I've done. Here's where I found success. I can use that to help guide your decisions, to offer advice, and to represent you from the beginning all the way through the close.
Yeah. And then taking those weekly actions you've been talking about, that those weekly actions are going to generate enough of those conversations, your goals are going to show up, right?
Totally. It's something that at first on paper, when you bust it out on your Excel sheet there in the office, you're kind of like, what, really? Like if I just do this, this, and this, it's supposed to equal that. Because I've tried it on my own, in my own way.
Right.
And one piece of advice I'd give anybody, whether you're a new agent or thinking about getting into the business or your practice and wanting to take it to the next level, is consistency is key. And just making your calls, touching base with people, asking them how they're doing. It doesn't have to be, have you heard what's going on? It doesn't have to be salesy. It can be, how's your day going? What's going on? Have you been out to the mountain yet? Have you snowboarded? Did you get out on your bike? Whatever your niche is, whatever your connection with that sphere is, ultimately turns into something where people will call and say, Ryan's the guy.
That's right. Shoot, you had a deal today. I didn't even know you got off the mountain bike trail.
I know. I had another one. I had one today. We were talking about referrals. Just keeping in touch with one of my old cooks when I used to work at Coldwater up here. He was the head chef, and he opened a bagel shop here. I've gone to go support him and just eat up on his bagels, gave him a few Instagram shout outs here and there. He messaged me on Facebook maybe 30 minutes after I had left today. It was like, hey, are you licensed in Nevada? I've got a cook who's looking to buy somewhere in Gardnerville. Boom.
Nice.
It comes out of the blue like that. If you're just honest in who you are and you care about the person in front of you and you build those relationships and back to your accountability thing, do your calls. Just go through the process, because you never know. Going to that bagel shop was an appointment in a way. It was a way that I made a contact with somebody who I hold clear and dear. And it's been a year, and out of the blue, he reaches out to me and has somebody who might be interested in either getting some help, just getting some insight, maybe buying.
It's a referral, right?
Yep.
I mean, and you led with value. You supported his bagel shop. You promoted him on Instagram. You did all those great things.
Yep.
Without asking, right? You didn't ask for a referral in exchange. Hey, I'm going to throw you on Instagram, but
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. That's amazing, man. Ryan, thanks for sincerely, bud. Yeah, thank you for taking the time to do this, and freaking congratulations. And just so that we can put it on record, Ryan's goal last year, what was your goal in 2020?
I think it was 8 million.
And you hit it.
Yeah, and I hit it.
And you hit it. And you hit it. And when we wrote it, it was like, huh?
That goal, 8 million, just to be totally frank with anybody out there who might have been where I'm at, that was getting out of debt significantly. That was pulling myself out of a hole when I was not making money and spending on trying to get my business going. It was debt. I had to protect the cash that I had for things that needed cash, like car, like house, that type of thing. So I had a chunk of debt that needed to be paid down, and that 8 million served the goals and dreams, the things that I really wanted that would make life really sweet. So I hit that. And to kind of answer your question for you, this year, I want to double that. So my goal now is 15 million. And I think with the resources that I have and just dialing down a little bit more, and as my sphere is becoming more magnetic, as people are seeing what I'm doing, how successful I've been, how happy the clients I've worked for have been, those success stories are just creating ripples. And 15 million isn't a monetary number of something that I want to take home. It's a service I want to provide. It's, if I look at what I did last year and think, with the same amount of time and energy as what I did last year, could I do more? The answer is yes, I could double it.
Yeah. And like a lot of people who might be watching this, right? You went from 0 to 8. Oh my gosh, you must have made these drastic changes. And now we're going from 8 to 15. Okay. A lot of people, again, the common thought is what drastic changes are you making? But you just identified that it's more of the same. And in our meetings, I mean, we boiled it down to like, I think like 2 or 3 things, right? I mean, it's like, and it's not, tell me about that. How you get it from 8 to 15 million? Do you have to make drastic change, or is it incremental change in a few key areas?
I think in most of our categories, it was a 5 to at the most 15% change. And that for anybody who might not be familiar with the process is a weekly basis that is compounded from the first of the year going forward. That's contact attempts for people who might be mildly interested. It's you're staying in touch with your sphere. It's being active on whatever your preferred social platform is, or sending out notes and videos. Taking that and asking myself, could I do 5 to 10% more of that and have 5 to 15% more efficient follow-up? It's easy. That's just
100%, yes. So we weren't adding like, oh, you got to join 10 more new nonprofits. You got to buy 60, 70 billion in Zillow ads, right? I mean, we literally just took what you already did and said, we're going to get this much better here and this much better here. And that's it.
Yeah. If I could double or triple the amount of referrals I had this year and do just referrals, just people who know who I am now, if I could double what it was from the year where nobody knew what I was doing and I was trying to make a name for myself, I would have it. I would have it.
I will have it. Oh, that's fun. Awesome, man. This is going to be one for the ages for us to remember forever. Thanks, Ryan.